Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to TrainWorldTV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Don't forget, you can shop online at TrainWorld.com for all your model train needs. Now, without further ado, enjoy today's video. All right, technical difficulties already, but we're on track. We're good. But good evening, everybody, and welcome to TrainWorldTV. We have a very special night in store, and it's kind of like a biannual event now, and we enjoy it thoroughly. A lot of our customers and fans out there love it, and we appreciate Lionel for being here tonight. And we have both Corey and Ryan, and also Ken Sr. joining us. So say hello, everyone.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, and thanks for joining us again for this exciting book too. It's a lot of great stuff.
Yep, Corey and I have spent the last 2 days in meetings talking about next year's book one with everybody here in the company. So we're going to try really hard not to screw this up.
That's right.
But it's good. We're getting into those last couple of days of orders here in volume 2. So anxious to hear if there are questions from the audience or things you all have been hearing, Ken's on people's favorites and where we stand. To give everyone one last chance to look through volume 2 and see what you want to add to your wish list before we get these things into the production schedule.
That's right. And brand new catalog, V2, a lot of American 250 stuff, and we're going to cover a lot. There's a lot to go over, a lot of new paint schemes on the rails and in model trains, so lots to cover. And Ken Sr., do you want to start it off with that raffle?
Yes. We got a America Celebration stock car here. This is another car to any set. You can put this to any set at all, but any of the 250 stuff. But this was in the book one catalog, and just so everybody's aware, a lot of this 250 stuff that has already been released is drying up very, very fast. It is definitely not going to make it to Christmas. So we're going to raffle this off to a lucky TrainWorld customer, and I wish everybody good luck at it. Kenny, how do you want them to sign in for it?
That's it. Put in the chat, Lionel V2, and the state you're from, and we'll pick out a lucky winner tomorrow after everything wraps up. And it's a lot of good stuff. It's the America 250 product in all scales is going very well, and a lot of people are excited about that. So excited to talk about the V2 catalog, because Lionel has seen the demand, heard or seen also the trains on the rail, and has kind of put it together a really nice catalog.
If anybody actually saw the Union Pacific on the tracks making its way from the West Coast to East Coast. Just write in what you thought about it.
All right. So Lionel Trains, and then the first 2 pages, lots of good stuff here, Rye.
Right, lots of good stuff, and we'll be talking about 250 units here for quite a few spreads. But we've got some of the first 4 that came out here to start us off. 2 from some great short lines on the Reading and Northern and the Wheeling and Lake Erie on the SD40-2s, and then 2 ES44s from Canadian National, one based off of the latest Air Force One paint scheme, and one with the Screaming Eagle, which we heard a lot of good things about that when it came out. Lots of buzz there on that locomotive. And then, of course, the Reading and Northern threw in a matching caboose to boot, so we had to add that in there to the list for our fans in Pennsylvania. All of the locomotives you see here are available with full legacy features, but also available non-powered. So if you are looking to build a showcase wall of red, white, and blue patriotic units, just as a display piece or something for your desk, and you know you're never going to run it and want to save on the electronics cost, we've got those here for you. Or if you're building multiple unit consists, like maybe you've got a big boy and you're putting 5 diesels behind it, it's a good idea to have some of them not only need to be powered as well, so you don't need an extra power line dropped into your house when you're running. But yeah, so we've got some great color schemes, normal legacy features on all of these. All the engines on this page do have that kinematic pilot. So you've got the automatic centering there, the fan-driven smoke and lights and rail sounds in the powered units. So a lot of good features here. Certainly not the first time you've seen ES44s or SD40-2s in the catalog, but we've just got some really wonderful paint schemes on these this go around.
Ryan, I see that the what are these SD40-2s say 054 and the ES44 says 060. Are they correct on the?
That's correct. The ES44 has been traditionally rated at 054 with some of the fixed couplers, which is something we've moved back away from in the scale rolling stock starting this year also. But with some of the fixed couplers, people were having some issues on 054 with the trailing cars. So we upped the rating on that to 060 just to cover it. If you've been running ES44s in the past on 054 curves without any issues, you're not going to have any issues with these. The locomotive tooling hasn't changed. We're just trying to cover our bases for people out there who maybe have experienced some issues or certainly don't want to create an unenjoyable experience for anybody.
And all this 250-year stuff is really going to be a one-shot deal. You're not going to remake this next year or the year after or anything, and there's licenses involved in it. So it's like, put your order in, and you guys are going to make it to the orders. It's built to order.
Yes, everything you see here is built to order, and everything with the now these items on this page are not officially U.S. America 250 licensed. So they don't fall under that restriction of the licensing. But if we go to, I think, like starting on the next spread, any of the equipment that use the official America 250 sort of ribbony script-looking logo, those are all officially licensed product. And part of the agreement on this license, these locomotives all fall into that paint scheme. Part of the condition of that license is that it must be announced this year and it must be delivered and sold through on our part by the end of next year. So, so at the end of 2027, we can't have any officially licensed US 250 in stock, and that will definitely play into our mind as we order extras off of anything that's not BTO as well. So. Now it doesn't impact you guys at Trainland, TrainWorld. That'll be fine if you have things going on, but that's a provision that we as the official licensor have to abide by with anything with that official mark on it.
Good to know. Good to know. Yeah. I see the logo on some of these engines, so it's that special script 250.
Yes, you see it there on the front of the CPKC locomotive. Has it on the BNSF. It's tucked in there just behind the U.S. seal. So that one is the licensed mark. We used it wherever the real railroads used it, so we want to make sure we had that license and did everything on the up and up. Products that we've done freelanced, like the bay window caboose you see here, that has our Celebration of America mark. You see it much bigger on the top of the page. That's not a licensed mark. That's our own creation, and so we can do that more freely. But we wanted to obviously for the prototypical locomotives capture what they have on the real thing for people.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. And
some amazing paint schemes. So the Screaming Eagle is just amazing, and it seems like a lot of people have a ton of interest. Reading Northern Caboose is actually very nice to kind of match some of these paint schemes and patriotic looks. But these are totally different, unique. You got these huge ET44s, and the paint schemes are just totally different.
Yeah, fantastic paint schemes. It's really neat to see how everyone took their own interpretation of this event this year. I mean, the locomotives obviously all share some things in common, but they couldn't be more different. And we're definitely looking forward to. I'll give a plug and a shout out to the North Carolina Transportation Museum next weekend at the end of August. I think they have 36 locomotives and pieces of equipment lined up so far to come down here as in a grand display of all of these things. So we will definitely be there taking some pictures, making sure if there's any small details we can get right on our models, we'll get those for anything that's there. But if you're in the area, that's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime gathering of something like this to take in. So definitely worth the trip down here to sunny North Carolina.
Wow, yeah, that sounds like an awesome thing, I tell you. And these paint jobs will last how long on their engines?
That's up to the railroads. I suspect most of these will be in service and stay this way for quite a few years. Maybe they'll get repainted like some of the heritage units have for railroads. Some may disappear after a couple of years. You never know.
Right.
But I would hope, given all the work that's gone into all of these and how good they all look, that we'll be seeing these for a while, and you definitely have a chance to catch them. If you haven't seen them on the rails already, keep going out there and sitting trackside and catch one.
Okay. Yeah. Great stuff.
All right. And Norfolk Southern came in a little late with 6 different paint schemes. I think most of these have now finally been released. The last one, I'm not sure if I've seen pictures of the last of the ES44s yet, but definitely some fun paint schemes. Of course, the Bell that ran with the Big Boy on its tour, and since that trip was over, they did take it back into Juniata and added some Norfolk Southern labels to that. We're going to do the same, but the version you see here in this catalog will be as it is shown here and as it was with the Big Boy. So if you're looking to add that to your consist, you'll see that here. We're actually going to do another special release in a few months this fall to catch some of the other 250 things that have licensed things that have come out since the volume 2 dropped. So there will be a few more things coming, again, because by our agreement we have to get them announced this year for sale. You'll be seeing a few more, and we will re-hit the Norfolk Southern with the later editions of the lettering in that release, so you can order that there too. So if you're looking for the locomotive the way it ran with the Big Boy, this is the SKU you want. If you want it the way it's going to look going forward for the next several years, then you'll want to wait and order that one in the fall release.
And Rye, a customer had a question, will the BNSF passenger cars, because I don't think I saw them in the catalog, but
we did not have those in the catalog. Again, they were one of those really last minute things with the president's short trip there. We're looking into that to see what we can do tooling wise on those, but I can't commit to those just yet. But yes, they're if we can do it, we'll bring them out.
That's awesome. And John, yes, they are real paint jobs, and look at the just Google the images. They're beautiful trains. Beautiful.
Yeah. On page 9, I didn't even realize that graphic is an actual eagle and then the horse's head. I mean, that was so creative on their part to do those. That was really good.
Yeah, you kind of get the impression they had this idea. Let's pick an engine and come up with it, and then they got all these great ideas in and said, you know what, let's just do a bunch of them because we can't decide.
Yeah,
it kind of has that feel for it, and I'm glad they did because they all look really cool. They all have their own unique flair.
It is everything's so popular. All of it, in all scales. Everybody's in it. Good for business.
Right, so then we did announce our big boys earlier in the year. With the tour going on and all the excitement and knowing how big this catalog was going to be, we wanted to bring in an early release on those. And the goal is, of course, to deliver these for you all by the end of this year. I was just over with the factory discussing the schedule following this catalog release, and literally on the phone with them again this morning, working on the production schedule for these. So it looks like we're going to get the big boys here, and it'll be right around the very end of the year, but we're going to get them here. And there are, which is a lot, because there are quite a few more of these ordered than we initially expected that there would be. So the factory's rearranging some things and pulling some strings for us to try and get everybody their big boy by the end of this year. So we're working as hard as we can on that, but orders are about double what we expected them to be on this locomotive. So it's a good problem to have.
Yeah. And I noticed on all those diesels, a lot of them, they all have different diameter tracks they run on. So it's really something to please everybody.
Yeah, we've definitely tried to do that in this catalog. We've kept the SD70 Aces and 70M-2s with the pilot-mounted, truck-mounted pilots, so they'll still do an 036 curve. So if you want big power and have the tighter curves, they're still a really good option for you.
Yep.
And then in the pages ahead, you'll see some more traditional and mid-range items as well. To something patriotic for everybody.
Yeah.
This is you got a Legacy Atlantic, but 031 on that. So
yes, this is one of our freelanced trains. So a really cool locomotive. Those are separately applied bunting on the railing, so you can put those on or take them off at your pleasure. I think really nice touch on the engine. Some great color here. All of the Atlantics that you'll see in this catalog, we've made some improvements in changes in that design this year. New gearbox design, new tethered drawbar to get extra pickup on them. But that freed up the space in the boiler for not only the whistle steam, but also the swinging bell. So you've got really all the most popular Legacy features in a pretty compact locomotive that'll do 031 curves with the swinging bell, the whistle steam, rail sounds. We'll do some special whistles and bells and dialogue for the patriotic stuff, of course. And really beautiful locomotive. It would look great with the matching passenger cars you see here on this spread, or some of the other patriotic things that we've released in the past or others have put out there.
All right.
All right. As if there wasn't enough in 2026 for the semi-quincentennial, we wanted to do a little bit of a throwback to the 50th anniversary of the bicentennial too. We had some opportunities here in this catalog, and it's just too easy to do and not pass it up. Great comment, David, and I agree. We've got the brand new tooling on the GP18 for Legacy. This is two of the Missouri Pacific units. One was a GP18, one was actually a rebuilt GP9, but with the chopped nose and some of the features externally very, very similar to the GP18s. And we did some road specific and road number specific detailing on these to get them to match the locomotives, including the different trucks on each unit, different rooftop vents and stacks, and all that goodness. These also actually ran on the American Freedom Train for a short leg while it was on the TNP. So if you're a Freedom Train collector, there's another reason to grab a couple of diesels to put in there behind your steam power and give it some extra oomph. We've got the Burlington Northerns, one of their bicentennial units, the U30, and some great freight cars in the collection here as well that you can add in there and sprinkle into the consist. All of these are based on prototypical units from that era.
On the GP18s, are they 4 smoke units or just 4 stacks? Or
4 stacks, 1 smoke unit,
okay.
with a funnel to the different stacks. There are some different arrangements on the stacks depending on the tooling. We made some tooling modifications in there with this new body to be able to accommodate some different variations.
Okay. And the flag that's on the engine, what's underneath it? What's the blue? What?
So it's a flag over an eagle, similar to the eagle that the stylized eagle the Missouri Pacific and Texas and Pacific used on their paint schemes. And then you've got the ribbon from the mouth of the eagle.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
These trailers, I actually saw on my feed. It popped up like the actual trailers. So even like I guess transportation, they're doing American.
Yeah, they're even rolling stock and trailers and so forth. There was, especially in 1976. I mean, the red, white, and blue was everywhere on everything. You definitely saw a lot of it today, in this summer. But going back and looking at the 1970s and how prevalent it was, there was so much of it out there. Both of these are prototypical trailers. C&W had a few of them. Western Pacific had 2. We did the other road number in a special Western Pacific set about 2 or 3 years ago. So if you've got that set, this is the other number to complete the pair. Another throwback to the bicentennial. This is a bit of a what if, but with the S3s in the catalog, the Milwaukee had an SD40-2 in this paint scheme that we've done previously. And we used that as the inspiration for a bicentennial excursion contest. It would have been kind of neat to see one of these come back out of retirement and lead a train over the Milwaukee in matched red, white, and blue. So this uses our aluminum passenger car tooling. You'll see a whole bunch more spreads like this with different deco variations for the Milwaukee Road. The cars have the distinctive Milwaukee porthole windows. Of course, you've got the skytop observation car and the full dome Superdome there for the Milwaukee Streamliners, along with coach and diners and baggage cars here. So really neat contest. If you like red, white, and blue, this will be a striking train on your layout. The S3s all have the cylinder steam. We've also added safety valve steam to them for the first time this year. So you've got 2 different smoke units there, plus your stack smoke. These have the kinematic well bar. They were one of the first locomotives we did to have that. And then you have the ability in these to toggle back and forth between the whistle sounds and the air horn sounds, just like the prototype. You've also got the red emergency light there on the top of the smoke box too on all of these units.
Any figures in like silhouettes of figures in the passenger?
All of the 18-inch aluminum cars will have figures inside. Yes.
Yay! All right, great, very nice.
All right, Corey. Some of these are your babies. I'll let you talk for a minute. Corey, you're still muted.
You got to unmute, Corey.
Rookie mistake. See, I mute myself to be,
Same thing happened to me.
to be helpful, and then I just don't talk. Yeah, we got some extra power here coming in with some LC 2.0 engines, which include our Jeep38s, but also our Mikado here. What's really cool about both of these locomotives is that they can navigate an 031 curve. So if you're dealing with a layout that is a bit smaller and you want it to be a bit more manageable there, this is definitely a good option for you. But dressed up, as Ryan said, some beautiful paint schemes, carrying that through here. I mean, this America LC 2.0 Mikado is just incredible. I thought it came out great with its gold accents. Again, these are going to be packed, the LC 2.0 in particular, with tons of features and operational flexibility from Bluetooth to, TMCC to conventional. Ryan, did you want to say anything in particular about the Jeep 38s? I know those were, they might have been Megan's piece, actually.
Yeah, just some great product. 3 of them are bicentennial paint schemes. And then we've got the new one there from the Reading and Northern for this year. That was actually in the paint shop when we visited them earlier this summer. So really cool to see that one brought in. The Lion Chief locomotives have all the same great features that you're used to in our Lion Chief starter sets. So if you're looking for an inexpensive way to expand your roster and you enjoy the Bluetooth operation, these are a great way to go. So whether it's one of the Eagles or red, white, and blue stripes from the past or present, go for it. That's wonderful locomotives here.
I noticed on the Mikados, there was, I guess you reduced the prices on the steam engines on the Lion Chief 2.0 engines.
We did, as we've come through the last couple of years, in and out of a bunch of things that have impacted us on our pricing, and moving some things around to some new factories. We're doing anything we can to try and get pricing back down for people. And yes, thank you for noticing. This is one of those locomotives where we were able to take a few dollars out. In most cases in this catalog, we've been able to at least hold pricing, but there have been a few wins where we've been able to take a few dollars back off the top of the MSRP. Yeah,
it wasn't a few dollars. It was a lot of dollars. This is a major reduction on these Mikados. So thank you.
And actually, this piece is one of the better selling pieces in this whole catalog. People really love this paint scheme. The gold trucks, a lot of detailing, and very iconic. And those boxcars, the big boxcars, we did a custom run. The last time we were talking, one was red, and then we did the blue, or vice versa. Something pulling this would look fantastic.
Absolutely. This locomotive is really perfectly sized. It fits in that nice space between scale and traditional. Yeah. So if you've got some of the big scale pieces of rolling stock that you wanted to run this with, or even the passenger cars on the previous spread with the Atlantic, it would look great with those. Or as we're going to see in the pages ahead, Corey's been going nuts with American history cars here in our in-house collection. These things would look beautiful pulling some of these patriotic cars for sure.
I got one more question on the steam engine. Ken, go back on the cab. What does it say, the wording there?
I have to go back and zoom in here. Let me look.
Yeah, that's a really great question. We live in the past, present, and future over here, so sometimes we even blank on it.
United States of America.
There you are.
Ah, okay. Very good.
I'm trying to transpose, but
clearly Ken still has the youngest eyes of the group.
I got my cheater.
As I'm feverishly clicking the magnifying glass on my guesses.
And on the tender, at the top of the tender, does it say July up there or something? Or
July 4th.
July 4th. Okay. Very good. All right. Great little details.
Yes. And as Ryan was saying, some boxcars that would be really nice to be pulled behind that beautiful Mikado there would be some of our 250th themed American history cars. These are boxcars printed and assembled in the good old USA. We are able to be really flexible with what we can do internally and do some of the smaller runs where maybe they are super limited edition and in and out pieces. This would be a great example. We like to take moments to honor not just events, but also iconic figures. So as an example, we have a General Washington boxcar. So really celebrating him as a general free presidential campaign. He's such an amazing figure and has so many accomplishments that I don't think that the average American might even be aware of. We have the Green Mountain Boys, Independence Hall, where the Declaration of Independence was signed. We also have Liberty Bell here. What's really neat is there's some fun facts and historical dates on these cars to take you back in time to those moments and really lead you onto the journey of what it took for America to really claim its independence. Because as we know, freedom isn't free, right? Someone had to pay with their life. So these have a beautiful roof print flag, American flag on them, and that is consistent across these cars in particular, because we wanted them to be a collectible and something that you could pass down from generation to generation. A keepsake, if you will.
Yeah.
Really nice. Happy with the way they came out.
Yeah, the American flag on top really makes the car just totally unique, different. And I feel like this is one of those cars that people are going to start to see
on the tracks and then be like, oh, I'm gonna need the whole series for those.
Yes, absolutely. Even the font choices we used have meaning, and they sort of harken back to the era that they were first used. So just the little details that you might not notice, and then you see for a second or third time, and you go, oh, aha, now I know why they did that.
Yeah. You should have been a history teacher, Corey.
I don't know about that, but I guess I'm Ryan's grasshopper now, and he's the Mr. Miyagi of my world there. Pretty cool.
This is just really the beginning. You know, we're celebrating our independence this year, but it was a long process. So for the next several catalogs, as we hit continued milestones in that, these and the cars you're seeing here on this spread through the American Revolution will continue. So if you're into this sort of thing, and a lot of people are, and I hope a lot more people become interested in it through this time frame, we're going to keep the trains going for you.
Okay, yeah, it's great stuff. Great. Every time I read it, I learn something.
Yeah, and to start off, we have Molly Pitcher, Patrick Henry, and also Betsy Ross. What's cool about these cars is in place of that roof flag print, we actually have some of their iconic phrases, just to add a personalized touch and tell a bit of the story. Again, all very uniform and would fit just nicely next to really any locomotive we have in this lineup, but particularly behind that Mikado, I think would look gorgeous.
Great stuff. Does it ever in history say how she came about making that design or use those colors, anything like that?
Oh, there's a whole lot of fun about it, Ken. We don't have enough time for me to get into all that tonight.
Okay. I went off track there. Sorry. All right.
I'm gonna prevent myself from derailing us on the conversation of Betsy Ross.
That's Ryan's side YouTube project, History with Ryan.
Oh man, if you only knew.
Yeah, I'll just say it's not really all what you think it is.
So much to say.
Ryan knows the whole Lionel team.
And in addition to celebrating national pride being American, we also want to celebrate the pride we have in our own state. And so we, as we kicked off in C1, coming out the gate with our first round of 5 50-state boxcar. They're basically hinting on the fun, state bird, state flag, state seal, like all those cool things that make you think of home. We have New York in here. We just released the remaining 8 of the first 13 colonies. We wanted to put that 250 badge there on the door and make these special. So all 13 of the 50-state boxcars that were released and are being released in 2026 will have that. And then the rest of the 50-state boxcars will have an American touch, but not the 250 badge. So these are really special. And I'd highly encourage anyone who hasn't, pick these up to order them so you don't miss out.
Well, that's why you got to watch the live stream video. You wouldn't know any of this unless you watch this.
That's right. Again, these remind me to when my grandmother passed down these mint condition quarters in each state. And it's something that I plan to inevitably pass down to my sons. So a keepsake for your family.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yes. And printed and assembled in the good old USA.
All right, so more big boy fever. Again, I won't spend too much time going over these. If you want, you can go back to a previous video we did on the big boys earlier this year with their release. Only to say that we hope you've got your orders in and ready, and we're starting production on these literally right now to get them to you by the end of the year. Some great vision features, lots of 2026 specific details on the 4014 here, and much requested with addition and new in the Volume 2 catalog are the auxiliary water tenders that typically follow the 4014 and the 844 everywhere. So we've done them with the full electronics in both UP prototypical numbers, but then also without electronics. So if you're running them as a pair and you don't really need the sounds in both, you can save yourself a little bit of cost, a little bit of power drain. But then we've also produced these in a variety of fantasy schemes that pair back with all of the other big boys that we've put out there. And some will obviously pair with other locomotives as well. For example, the plain black with the American flag Lionel Lines version, that would be a great auxiliary tender to put behind literally any steam locomotive you have, right?
Yeah.
So if you just want a fun car that has all those great legacy sound features, we've got you covered there. And then the flags are a separately applied brass plate that goes on the pieces.
Yeah, good addition. Definitely a good addition.
All right, the Milwaukee 261, another great locomotive. A lot of buzz around this one this year, and I think the weekend before this catalog came out, 261 got some extra US 250 livery on it, and they did a Hiawatha 250 tour. And so the passenger cars you see here, a lot of them were in that consist. They represent the current excursion cars. And then we do have, although it didn't make it into the catalog, we do have another SKU that is the 261 with the 250 decoration on there. So that's available on Lionel.com website if you want to see the SKU and the artwork for it, and available to pre-order through TrainWorld as well. So even though it didn't make it into the catalog, I want to make sure everyone knows that's out there if you're looking for this year's version of the locomotive. Everything else about it will be the same as the version you see here, the gloss finish, the polished rods. We want it to look like a freshly restored engine for the excursion, just like it was. But it does have the extra striping and lettering on the sand dome and on the tender, I believe is where they added it here.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a couple of great throwback what-if Hiawatha schemes. The first there, number 262, is a repeat of the first one of these we did probably about 6 or 7 years ago now. Very popular. A lot of people really liked it, so we wanted to put a different road number and a second shot at that one. And then a whole new design with a little bit more orange and dark gray and black in it for some of the more evocative of some of the later Hiawatha locomotives on the Milwaukee. And the big symbol on the tender there with Hiawatha. So 2 different variations on the theme if you're a fan of the Milwaukee colors. And then this set of cars on this page differs a little bit from the previous. This represents the more in-service prototypical look of the Milwaukee's orange cars from those days.
Mm. So what's the difference between the excursion cars and these cars? The names on them?
The car names, and if you look at the cars today, they have an extra orange, maroon burgundy band. So if you look at the roof line on those cars on the previous page, you'll see it's actually a red band with gold lettering at the top.
Gotcha.
Lettering's in there, and then in the original days, it was just the one maroon band over the windows with the maroon Milwaukee Road lettering above there.
Yep.
So, and then this paint scheme you're seeing here would be appropriate also behind the prototypical paint schemes of the S3, but you could also run this behind Milwaukee F units or other passenger power.
Mm-hmm.
And then why not? We did a Milwaukee yellow version as well. So the passenger cars here are the prototypical armor yellow paint scheme that came shortly after the steam locomotives were retired. We thought, what the heck? Maybe they kept one on the roster a little bit longer. These engines certainly had life left in them when the diesels came. So maybe they kept one in reserve and brought it back out for some special runs and did it up in the yellow paint scheme to match the passenger equipment of the era. But these cars would also look great behind some of the Milwaukee E units that we've done. Again, F units for power, variety of prototypical locomotives as well, if you're liking the later era. And some of these too ran through on Union Pacific trains as well, so you could put some UP power ahead of these if you're a prototype guy. And then we've got a few more traditional versions in the matte and gloss finishes, and then also one inspired by their S2, the previous class of Northerns, with a little bit of extra striping and different panel placement on the Milwaukee Diamond on the tender. All these have
version people went crazy for.
Yeah, what's that?
People went crazy for the gloss version. A lot of excitement on that, and high amount of pre-orders for the gloss.
Excellent, excellent. So what we're trying to do in general to get it out there on what will get gloss and what will get this more standard matte finish, and we try and offer some of each variation with the locomotives that we do. If it's a locomotive that is preserved today in a museum or running in excursion trains or a special commemorative paint scheme, those are more likely going to be given that gloss treatment to represent a clean, fresh engine. Whereas the traditional matte finishes we've used more commonly in the past, and we'll still continue using going forward, give you not a weathered look, but something that's a little bit more toned down and muted, the way you more expect to see a steam locomotive look after it's got a few miles and months under its belt.
Kevin had a good question. Is the S3 263 boiler is going to be the same colors as the 262?
The grays are actually different. So the 263 does have a darker gray than the 262. And the Milwaukee changed it up too, so did we.
I don't know if this pertains to the S3. Are these tenders different than the ones in the last release?
If you're talking the Milwaukee S3, we didn't really need to make too many changes to that. For the auxiliary tenders, no, other than deco schemes, we did not make any changes from the previous legacy releases of the auxiliary tenders in electronics or function.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, Russian decapods, another one of these small steam locomotives with a lot packed in. And somehow this time we got even more crammed in here. So these also do have the tethered drawbar to the tender, because that's where we had to put the electronics. But we've got not only swinging bell this time around, but also whistle steam added into these little locomotives. And they are rather tiny when you see them in person. You think decapod, you think big steam, but these were quite light by US standards. And so some great road-specific details here, a variety of road names. The DT&I will have a Russia iron boiler and a bit more of a shine on it, like the photos we've seen. And then the Susquehanna, those units followed the Erie practice for a good long while, and they had the dark blue boilers as well. So some nice spots of color there. For the Missouri Pacific, we've got the doghouse on the tender. There are a variety of other detail changes on the tenders and locomotives here on these locomotives as well. So different engines, different varieties to help match the prototype the best we could.
And the radius minimum curve on this, is it 031?
These will do 031, yes.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Like I said, they're not as big as you think. They're rather tiny engines.
And
I thought that was a mistake, but good. I'm glad.
swinging
I think you guys have a couple of custom versions of this coming as well.
Yes. Two. I don't know if we should save that for later tonight or now.
Oh, we can tease it now, and you can show it off later if that's easier for bringing things up and down.
So we're going to be doing two different Stroudsburg variants, and the thought process behind this is the last run was the real prototypical version, and it was a high end, a lot of money, which is great for if you're able to afford that and want that prototypical detail. It's a similar wheel arrangement, just slightly different, but you got 031 curves, you got the swinging bell, whistle steam, so it's not exactly the same, but it's very close, and you're at a great price point for a legacy steam locomotive. You're at a great price point, something that's a little more affordable than I believe the last one was the brass ones that you did.
That's one of the brass hybrids.
Right, the brass hybrid. So this is kind of just offers something out there. And everybody's still doing Stroudsburg cars. I think that there's still more Stroudsburg cars that you guys are making.
Yeah,
so.
we've got some fun stuff just a page turn away. But interestingly, the Russian decapods sort of inspired the Baldwin Light 210Os that included the Strasbourg 90. So their history is somewhat linked, even though they were a little bit different. Seeing the value of an engine like this that had power but was light enough and good weight distribution for smaller branch lines and short lines, Baldwin thought they could do a standardized version and found a few takers around the country.
Did the brass hybrid have swinging bell and whistle steam?
It had whistle steam, but we couldn't get the swinging bell in there. So at least not at that point with those electronics.
If you want a swinging bell, make sure you had the TrainWorld for your Stroudsburg unit. Yeah. That's it. It is a cool feature. A lot of people will go crazy for the swinging bell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got pictures, Ken? Or
yeah, we'll show it later on tonight.
Okay. Stay tuned.
Right. Yeah, so speaking of Strasbourg, right? The Pennsy E6 locomotives are coming back. We've got a couple prototypical variations and some fun things here too. We've got the 460, which of course is still preserved in Strasbourg today. That one will be done up with the gloss finish. The later year version of the Pennsy steam is represented in the 1600 with the all dark green paint on that locomotive. And then we did a fun what if. The Strasbourg did lease the 7002 and the 1223 from the Pennsylvania for a number of years. 460 could have been a good candidate for that program as well. So we did the early Pennsylvania striping and the Strasbourg lettering on the tender as a what if consideration, the round number plate instead of the keystone. So for Strasbourg fans, it presents a nice, could have been. And then a nice, really nice, actually is for folks and first time available for your O-scale Thomas Strasbourg trains is the Lee Brenner dining car. All new tooling here on this. We'll have the detailed interior and then also the station sounds feature. So you have the legacy station sounds in this and really nice piece. We'll have custom sounds in there, just like our other station sounds cars do. So you get the different dialogue at the station scenes and serving the settings and so forth.
Yeah, Brian, you got 3 Pennsylvania engines here. Are any of them the dark green, or are they all?
So they're all the same. They're all the same. They're all the same dark green. It's just a matter of the other accent colors that are applied with it.
Okay.
So 460, you see the earlier mid-range version where they still have the red on the tender and the top of the cab roof there. Okay. The 460 Strasbourg version, other than the name on the tender, and we'll see the later version with Pennsy, early version of Pennsy in the next page, has the original 1920s and earlier pinstriping all over it. And then starting in the 1930s and 40s, things shifted over to an all green. The red disappeared. And the E6s that ended their days sort of ended in that paint scheme. The spacing and styling of the font of the lettering changed a little bit on those too in that period. So that's why you see each of them looks a little bit different, but all variations on a theme.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then we do have the Pennsy Atlantic, E6 Atlantic done in the original as delivered paint for the prototype unit. This has also the boxy headlight on there, the round number plate, the extra pinstriping, and then matching to go along with it, we did a version of the famous Yellow Kid passenger scheme from the Pennsylvania Special Days. By the time the E6s came along, they had converted over to steel passenger cars for the limiteds, but we couldn't resist. We wanted to do this wonderful color scheme in the 64-foot wood coaches, and you've got a matching station sound diner now to boot. So if you're a fan of this early color scheme, and it's kind of hard not to be, it's be a really short consist behind the E6.
Mm-hmm. Any figures in the silhouette figures?
These will all have figures. All of the woodside passenger cars will have figures, except for the baggage car. Obviously, no need for too many people in there.
I think you should sell silhouette figures separately as a separate sale also, because a lot of guys have passenger cars they want to add to them. So just
We
They
do
don't have
sell,
anything.
packs of the molded figures if you want to populate them with 3D people. We do make those. We haven't done the inserts, clear inserts for silhouettes, but if you want to add additional figures, even if the car comes with someone you want to increase your patronage, we do sell separately available packs of figures that are easy to pop in place.
Yeah, those are always selling out. Those figures always selling out. Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right, just like the S3s, you'll see some variations on the theme here over the next couple of spreads with some more Atlantics and passenger car consists for some different railroads around the country. Here we've got a great set for the Great Northern. Some unique details on the Atlantic here with the oil tender, different headlight arrangement, of course the great green boiler and red and black treatment on the GM locomotives. Always a really striking paint scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Some additional Atlantics. These would go great with some of the 72-foot commuter cars we've done recently for the Rock Island and Chicago Northwestern. Again, some road-specific details here on the A6 style. All the Atlantics, whether it's the Penske E6 style or the other based on the A6 style Atlantic, all of them now will have that swinging bell and whistle steam feature and redesigned gearbox in them for this production run.
Mm-hmm.
New York Central fans, we've got you covered here as well. This represents some of the Lines West locomotives and passenger equipment specifically. Fun detail on this were the two pairs of class and marker lights on the smoke box. So you've got some extra lighting features around the headlight on this one. And then passenger cars inspired by, in some cases, the early white mail or fast mail trains, which lingered on for a few more years, and then the red New York Central system lettering for the LS and MS subsidiary west of Buffalo or west of Cleveland on these passenger cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Kevin, the S3 passenger cars, we did review that. They will have passengers.
Yes. UP fans, some great early wood passenger cars here, and another fun Atlantic with the Vanderbilt tender, the oil headlight, train number boards there by the smokestack really gave this one a unique look. And how you changed just a couple of little things, and the locomotive completely changes its appearance.
Mm-hmm.
With all the patriotic units, it's kind of easy to forget that the railroads are still pumping out the heritage units as well. So we've got the next 5 in the series of CSX heritage engines here, all available powered and non-powered with the same great features of the ES44s we talked about earlier. Again, the same call out on the 060 curve minimum radius, but really no change in the tooling. So if you've got the right cars behind it, 054 will still be no problem for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then Norfolk Southern said, why not? Let's do a new series of landmark locomotives. So since we had the SD70s and ES44s in the catalog, we did all 4 of their engines in that series too. The 2 ES44s, the 2 SD70s. All these are powered units. And then these are designed so they can run on the office car special, or they can put them in freight service as well. We thought it'd be fun if you're running these on freight trains to go ahead and have a matching caboose to go with the really cool color scheme on these.
It's a nice paint scheme. Very nice. Mm-hmm.
This is one of my favorites in the catalog overall.
Very nice.
The most recent Norfolk Southern Heritage unit for the Delaware and Hudson. We've got that one added here also. Some standard units for UP, BNSF, Quebec, North Shore, and Labrador. Then we've got the UP EAP locomotive there, another custom paint scheme for them. Be a fun addition. And a Kansas City Southern of Mexico bicentennial unit for their railroad as well that came out a couple of years ago and didn't quite make it into the catalog for whatever reason at that time. So neat engine. It's got the Spanish script on one side and English on the other. Some really great graphics on this one too.
The SD70s, when do they due?
So all of the locomotives we'll know soon enough. We collect orders from you all starting the end of next week. Then we'll gather it all up, send it over to the factory, and get a production schedule together. I don't have a good date for you yet. Probably towards middle to the second half of September, we'll have a production schedule in place for all of the items in this catalog that haven't already been announced. And I would suspect sometime, maybe around this time or a little bit earlier next year, you'll see a lot of these things hitting your shelves.
Okay.
We have one of our first big sets here in the catalog, based off the LNG test the BNSF did. I think it was around 2014. They took these locomotives, converted them to liquid natural gas fuel, and tried them out in a variety of services all around the system in different climates and so forth. So this set includes 2 powered legacy diesels, both of the numbers with the special lettering on the radiator fans. You've got the fuel tender in there, and then an assortment of freight cars to go behind. One of the cars, the plug door 50-foot boxcar, has the working end of train device on the back end as well. So some great unique color schemes only available in this set. One of the fun cars with the graffiti on there. Again, the tank cars and the covered hoppers and so forth. A great 2000s era BNSF train.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a big set. I think every catalog, you guys decide how can we go bigger on sets.
we do, and it's it seems
UPS makes.
it seems like the bigger we make the box, the more people want it. So the Santa Fe sets I know just shipped, so your warehouse team, we probably owe them some pizzas or something. I think that may have been our biggest one yet, where we actually had to put the team lift sticker on it.
Yeah, I saw that. I noticed that. I was like, oh boy.
It's a hefty box. Good luck trying to sneak that one into the house without the wife noticing.
That's right.
But it's well worth it and packed with a lot of cool things. So it's a statement piece in anyone's collection for sure. We've got some great U30Cs again back in the lineup. 2 road numbers each here in most of these paint schemes. And then we've got 2 one-offs, special one-offs. You've got the Department of Transportation unit that was used out on the test track in Pueblo, and the unique XR scheme on the Louisville and Nashville with the black, bold, and white. Just a really neat paint scheme here on these. These will all do an 031 curve also, by the way, and including here, this is another great set for the Detroit Edison coal lines. These locomotives stayed in service for quite a number of years and were some of the first radio-controlled distributed power train operations regularly running in the country. Detroit Edison got tired of Penn Central not having enough equipment, so they just bought their own and ran massive coal trains from West Virginia and Pennsylvania up to Monroe, Michigan, and then also in some cases out from the Midwest as well, coming in there. So the set includes 1 locomotive and 8 of the rotary coal-gons, one of which has the end of train device. We've got another add-on pack of 4 hopper cars if you want to make it bigger, and 2 more locomotives, 2 more road numbers of the locomotives if you want to add in there also. So you could put 2 or 3 of these up front. You could put additional units mid-train and be fully prototypical with it. And the nice thing with the Legacy is you can do that trouble-free for operation. SD40-2s, a lot of great popular paint schemes, road names on here, some road-specific detailing options as well, different lighting, different smaller details on the roofs and pilots and so forth. The Conroe unit should have the correct early trucks on them as well. So we'll make sure we get all those things right. Best-selling locomotive of all time, although I think the ES44 and SD70s might be catching up quickly now. No shortage of great paint schemes you can put on an SD40. Talked about these a little earlier with the bicentennial units, but new tooling, the GP18, based on our legacy GP20. This is the non-turbocharged prototype version of that. 2 road numbers each and a variety of good paint schemes from the classic years up to modern short lines, where these are still working away. And for our switchers for this catalog, a half dozen of the S4s, the Alco S4 switchers. So we always like to try and pick some different paint schemes that we haven't done in a while or done before, and different add-on details where we can get them, like the number plates on the Milwaukee unit or in the handrails of the New York Central engines, things that just give it that extra little touch of style. Rolling stock, we've got the milk cars coming back again. These have a lot of extra details, including opening doors and removable roofs so you can see the tanks in the interior. Some new deco schemes on these. Try to pull some of the Midwestern roads in that we don't usually get to in the milk cars. Always popular with custom runs of things, it seems, too. So definitely want to keep these in the catalog every few years.
The Central of Vermont has become a very popular railroad that people are modeling. Nice paint scheme.
Yeah, this is one of their later paint schemes, and these cars stayed in service on the CV into the late 50s and 60s. So, unlike the early vintage you usually see on these, it's kind of neat to be able to do something a little bit more modern. From milk to beer, we've got the beer cars back again. I think this is the second or third time we've run this tooling. Insulated boxcars, some new road names, and some new paint scheme variations on some of the popular road names that we have out there. Also a great, more modern addition for the Budweiser 150th anniversary that we celebrated this year. In fact, we've actually got the big can set sample arrived yesterday, so it's sitting out in our test layout. It looks gorgeous. This would be a fun addition to that, or a neat pairing with the Woodside reefer that we had in the previous catalog. Rounding it out, we've got to have a few good cabooses in here. Again, some interesting and more unique paint schemes, like the Road of the Future, New York Central. The Erie car represents one that's been restored and is still around now. And then the rare white painted Rock Island bay window cabooses that I think there are only maybe 2 of those that got that paint scheme on the Rock Island. But it's a really fun paint scheme to have. In our Lion scale line, again, all full scale proportions on these, just a few more molded in details versus what you see in our category 26 or our scale rolling stock category. So we can keep the pricing a little bit lower on these. 2 road numbers each on the PS2 CD cover hoppers. Some of these are some fun paint schemes like Central Soya and the Milwaukee Road with the add-on placards as well. Which were very popular. And a lot of these paint schemes, even though they're from the 1960s and 1970s, lasted into the early 2000s. You can still see these running around out there. For tank cars, we've got our 50-foot tank car. These are all available as a single car and then also as a 3-pack, doing mini unit trains. So we tried to come up with a bit of a mix. Tank cars, a lot of tank cars are just sort of plain black or white or gray or silver. So you want a few of those if you're modeling a typical modern consist, but it's neat to have some color in them as well. So the ADM Unitemp cars, the Hooker Chemicals, the orange stripe safety cars of the 1980s on the Procore there. So some really neat variety in paint schemes, all prototypically based. But a mixture of sort of your plain and Janes or your colorful standouts in the train. And then you've got to have some rail box cars as well. The later variation on the rail box scheme, both clean and a couple of different weathered and graffiti versions that always do amazingly for us. And then we've got the patched rail box for the Burlington Northern and 3 really popular short lines that were common in the per diem era in the 70s, and still you see them floating around today, patched with new recording marks and so forth.
I thought that said Ken for a second. It's Kev.
I think, you know what, we need to do a Ken car. I think that we need we'll put like Ken Senior on one side and Ken Junior on the other.
If there's one place that knows about graffiti, it's probably New York. Very cool.
Our plug door 40-foot cars. This is one we don't run very often as well, and some great paint schemes here. I think the Mandarin Orange Express is a really neat one for the CP rail. But we've got some other great fun paint schemes on here too. The Leaping Panther is also just a really fun paint scheme that popped out in the train, and it will definitely stand out from all your other boxcar red cars that are rolling by.
Mm-hmm.
And then also another one that's popular with the custom runs and the clubs is the Woodside Reefer. So 2 road numbers each on a variety of private owner and railroad companies here. We've got 2 of the more unique experimental PFE paint schemes as well. So if you've got a big string of reefers behind your big boy, it's nice to throw some of these in there that just break up the monotony of all the other orange cars in the contest. And then more of the rotary Colgons, available in 4-packs and 2-packs. So all the cars in the 2-packs, one of them will have the flashing end of train device on them. And then the 4-packs, you have the standard cars. All these feature the rotating coupler on one end and the fixed coupler on the other. And all of them do come with the removable club loads. I did see a question somewhere in the comments if the loads for these are available separately, and yes, they are. If you get additional loads for older runs of the cars, we still make that as an active item in our product line. Some new road names and some new paint scheme variations again on these cars that we haven't done in the past. All right, last but not least in the scale section, we've got a few more of the new station sound diners in the Woodside cars. All the ones you see here have the partial vestibules on the end and all match previous releases that were really, really good sellers. We just didn't have the room for a diner at the time. So for the B&O Royal Blue, for the New York Central without the New York Central system lettering, just the straight New York Central, for the east of the system lines, and then Pennsylvania in their more classic standard paint scheme, not the yellow kid. Milwaukee sold some of their equipment to the Canadian National in the 1970s. So we've got another accurate road name for the Skytops and the big twin. We wanted to add that here into the lineup. And then our friends down the road at the Aberdeen, Carolina, and Western, they've got one of these Skytops that they're restoring now. So we've got that, a preview of things to come there, and their striking color scheme. Always a great seller for us. So this is one you're going to want to add to your contest. And not to be outdone, we came up with our own version of the excursion car for the Trippy train. And we had to do 2 runs of the Trippy trolley. So we thought maybe we'll run to something here. This has that great throwback 60s vibe on the graphics. And you'll have the multicolor changing interior and underbody lights to give it that real party effect. So a fun car you can charter to bring a party to any excursion contest or Amtrak train on your layout.
And you know what's so great about trains? The Trippy Trolley Skytop Lounge is neck and neck with the Aberdeen, Carolina, and Western Skytop Lounge. So for those that poo-poo fantasy and fantasy poo-poo real trains, there's something for everyone. So it just goes to prove.
That is our goal in every catalog we do. Something for everybody.
That's right. Very cool. And quite honestly, the Trippy Trolley, people went crazy for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to do 2 runs of that one, and we'll probably bring it back again at some point.
I don't think you guys ever would have guessed that. Probably thought it was a good seller, but not like that. It was a great piece.
Yes, one of my colleagues put about 4 or 5 of those on a layout at one time and turned the lights off, and it was amazing. It was incredible. Like cats, just staring at it. Well, taking a little bit of a left turn onto non-scale land here, and we're returning to the LC 2.0 Mikados that we mentioned earlier. We're in the 250 section. We always like to try to revisit some engines we've done before. It's been a few years though, and come up with some new, fresh road names and numbers and paint schemes that we feel are relevant to the time. And so we have here Southern New Haven, Denver and Rio Grande Western, and also an APNSF. And going back to what I had mentioned before about features, if you want to try to find a nice mid-range locomotive between, Legacy and Lion Chief, this is where you really want to be, packed with versatility and operational flexibility, can run on that 031 curve we mentioned earlier. And Southern, the reason we brought this bird name forward is because, and Ryan, remind me, they just recently had an anniversary, correct? 50th, I believe, or close to that?
Yes.
Yeah, so thought we might bring back that really beautiful, popular green and bring it to life here on this Mikado. Felt right.
Looking good.
Looking good. And probably this is maybe the most fun projects that I got to work on so far this year. And these are our TMCC early inspection vehicles. We tried to imagine what we could create with these really fun vehicles. And so we kind of went way off into fantasy land and imagined all the different kinds of scenarios that these inspection vehicles might be used for. We came out with a really fun hot rod style, Lionel Lines, railroad police, and even the early dry agent inspection vehicles. And a really fun mafia gangster one with bullet holes and, and like cracked glass effect, which I thought was like absolutely hilarious. These are really sturdy. They have a die cast frame and body and a lot of little attention to details. Super fun. And again, TMCC command control in these, or you could run conventionally if you like with a transformer. And you'll see a few more of these sprinkled throughout this catalog. But yeah, again, it adds a little charm to your layout.
And it's funny because I didn't catch the bullet holes and mafia. I thought it was just a black car. And you have to do retake on this, and that's why shows like this and also influencer, shout out to RJ, he pointed that out. He thought it was pretty cool and cool, unique stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of blue tinted glass there on the police one. So yeah, lots of little details to catch. More fun to be had on this spread for sure. We actually have a Lion Chief Plus 2.0 missile launch motorized unit here. Again, super fun, trying to really bring play value to the forefront and not just always doing prototypical schemes. These rockets will actually shoot via remote with the front uncoupler button in both TMCC and Bluetooth modes. And then additionally, we'll be adding sounds and lighting. So this is just a lot of fun on the rails right here. And then below that, we have a U.S. Army Transportation Corps welding car. This is going to be the first of a few you will see in the catalog. We haven't done this for quite some time, but it does have some animation and lighting and is a lot of fun. My husband actually is a fabricator. That was his original starting career. And so this is, I can imagine all kinds of scenarios where, you might be welding on this particular car. Die-cast trucks, operating couplers, and the welder moves back and forth to simulate the repair work, which I think is really cool. Got an Army ballast dump car here, again, just adding to that play value and functional operation on your layout. And also a military general TMC early inspection vehicle, because somebody's got to keep everybody in line, right?
The dump car, is it plastic or metal?
So it is a die-cast metal frame, and it has a metal dumping frame. So got a nice weight to it. And then you will either see these with the ballast or coal load, depending on which scheme we did. So yeah, really sturdy construction and a nice piece.
Yeah, glad to see that made like the original. Very nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and here we have we can't get enough of Area 51. I remember when we were first working on this line thinking, is anybody going to be into Area 51 like we are? And sure enough, there are people with whole entire layouts just dedicated to this. And so we felt like what better than to bring forth another defense division for Area 51, because, they got to keep these people from storming it. And in addition to the defense division LC 2.0 missile launcher, which again will shoot the missiles, we have an Area 51 radar car. And this is really cool. It's got an illuminated radar screen and some colorful graphics on there for some added, detail, which should be really cool. An Area 51 Quonset hut it actually includes a smokestack. And these are actually a pretty decent size, which I think is really cool. And then also an Area 51 early inspection vehicle, because, why not? Once again, we got to keep it on lockdown, all those secrets.
Well, I tell you, we put the Area 51 on our other layout at the other end of the store, and I was amazed that the kids' eyes glued to that particular set. It's the colors and what it is. It just they watch that more than they watch the Polar Express now. They run this Area 51. So it's a good series. Good series.
It's really fun. I mean, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then who else will, right? So we got to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
And then we get to our Star Wars missile launchers here. And so we imagine two versions, one for fans of the dark side, right, with the Imperial defense, and then one honoring the New Republic era with, Rebels. It just is so fun that we get to play with this sort of back and forth between the dark and light side. This is going to be a theme you see, throughout all the product we really bring to life. And a compliment to the Star Wars team in general. They're so wonderful to work with, and they have so many great ideas. If we created all the ideas we had, there just would have to be a whole catalog just for Star Wars. There would have to be. And then on the eve of Star Wars' 50th anniversary, which is actually in 2027, we wanted to kind of pay homage to the original trilogy by offering some really cool movie poster billboards. So we have a 3-pack below. And, if you grew up watching this franchise, this is just going to give you all the feels, because it's some of those iconic poses and characters that, we've come to grow and love, really. Are you guys Star Wars fans?
Yes, I am. Yeah. Everything is Darth Vader for me. Darth Vader.
I feel like everybody's seen Star Wars. It's just iconic. And coming up, the Death Star, I thought was the coolest thing in the catalog.
You know what? I got to give so much credit to Megan. These are really her babies. And it's funny because we had this piece of tooling and it, we were thinking, what would be so cool? And when you see this power station in front of you, it is enormous. I don't even think the catalog does it justice. And when you pick it up and hold it, it's like, wow, this is a whole unit.
When I saw it, I was like, how are we going to put that on the in-store layout?
Yeah.
So we're going to have to take a chunk of the layout in just to fit that. But very cool.
It will have officially licensed Star Wars sound effects, a really unique design here, as you can see. And it's also plug, expand, play, which I think is really nice. yeah, for those who just want to, plug it in and go, right? And then we also don't want to forget about this Imperial themed Kyber crystal illuminated hopper. Just kind of imagining, the villains stealing loads of Kyber crystals to power the Death Star, and tell that story off the screen, if you will. And I love that the Star Wars team was so open to this because it really lived in the world. And Kyber crystals are a really important part of how you power your equipment.
Yeah. Also, I think coming in maybe in a week or two, the Phantom Star Wars engines and the Area 51 Phantom is coming in, and those have been a huge seller, really big seller. So
Nice.
they're going to scramble when they hit the road for sure. People are going to be jumping all over them.
Yeah, and I think we're pretty much sold out on those here at Lionel. So when they get to you, I think I heard today we have like 12 of the stormtroopers left, and that may be gone now too. And Vader is all accounted for.
Yeah. I've been trying to grab the Darth Vader from the distributors. Nobody's got anything. It's whatever's in the stores, whatever the stores are getting. That's it. That's the end of those. So it's it's hot item, very hot item.
Ryan, did you want to talk a little bit about this really cool post-war inspired set?
Sure. So this is inspired by the 147 set, and we created some new tooling a few years ago to do the 262. This is another early variation that Lionel had with the 264 variant. So we took inspiration from some of these classic post-war sets, bringing in the modern Lion Chief electronics. So you really get the best of both worlds here. Very classic looking set. Set includes the boxcar, the operating log dump car, and the SP caboose. And then the original set also included the coal dump car, just to help keep the cost of the set more manageable for a starter set. We have that available separately. But also it means if you're just looking to add that classic coal hopper to your dump car to your consist, you don't have to pick up the whole set for that either. So be a great add-on to bring them all together. Of course, the dump cars you can activate manually, or you can use the automatic uncoupling track if you want to use the push button on those. But other than that, you've got the great fun Lion Chief and sounds on here. We'll do the air whistle, I'm sure, on this one as one of the whistle sounds. So just a really neat retro piece and that classic look.
Yeah, and just rolling back to the Star Wars stuff, Steven is a good customer, and he comes in the store often. But now that you're with round 2, can you make the Star Wars flat cars with X-Wing and TIE Fighter loads? So just something to think about.
Absolutely something to think about. And like I said earlier, we've spent the last couple of days ideating future catalogs, and we've got our round 2 partners in the room. Everyone is very excited about a lot of the potentials that we have to magnify all of the brands with this.
Oh, you could do a lot.
The die cast and slot cars and model kits, you name it. There's so much that we all see in each other's product lines that we're like, oh, we want that, we want that, we want that. So I think you're just a catalog 2 cycle away from starting to see a lot of things creeping in and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
So you want to take this one, Corey?
Oh, go ahead, Ryan. You were on a roll there.
Well, I'm always on the roll. You know that. We've got another great American Defense set here. A lot of fun action and play value built into this one. With the Lion Chief GP38, you've got the Minuteman car. Again, another piece that you can launch manually from anywhere around the set. Or if you want to add on the operating uncoupling track, you can use that to fire the missiles. We've got the defense caboose with the rotating searchlight and the guns on the back. 2 more missile loads there on the extra flat car. The radar car here, another natural piece to add in here as well, and that's got the animation on it as well as the lighting. So another, you want this to become a 4-car train for sure. and not necessarily tied to the set, but a nice companion piece here, or could go anywhere, is the Army Navy surplus store in the Quonset hut there. Just with, of course, these things are always fun places to visit. You never quite know what you'd find in there, and a neat interpretation of that structure and accessory too. Going along with the locomotives in the set, we have these also available. Again, all the same great Lion Chief features. The retrofitted 675. If you didn't pick this up in the set the first time we did it a few years ago, now we have available separate sale. And then some fun fantasy schemes for the Pennsylvania, Great Northern, and New York Central as well. Rounding out the GP38 selection with all the patriotic locomotives we saw earlier, we've got one for the BNSF and a very colorful environmental unit for Canadian Pacific, but actually based on a prototype locomotive. So really fun one to have there.
Does the Canadian Pacific glow in the dark, or?
It's not coded to, but that color seems to almost do it on its own.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. Last year you made a tricolor diesel, and I tell you, it was so popular. People liked the different colors on it.
Mm-hmm.
This will do the same thing.
That New York Central lightning stripe is pretty cool. Something different.
Yeah, with the Lion Chief line, we like to take a little bit more liberties with some of the paint schemes and mix things up a bit and add a little bit of spice and color in there.
Cool.
Is the on the New York Central, the tender striped gray, is it the same color as the engine gray, or?
It's a little bit more of a gray than the silver on the smoke box and the firebox.
Okay.
More of your New York Central medium gray color.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, cool. So we have some Harry Potter Hogsmeade billboard packs. Again, these are just super cool. I don't know if you've ever been to the parks and the Universal parks. Have you been there?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Everybody
you'll see
has
a
to
lot
go.
of this. Yeah, that you will see a lot of this sort of theme. What's really cool is Harry Potter. We've built this sort of whole world around it, and there are fans of Harry Potter that only collect these pieces. But I think it's something that everybody can enjoy. Will look great next to your Hogwarts Express Ready to Run set and our other rolling stock. It goes great with. We have a SKU for reference here, but yeah, with this set. And we're going to continue forward. We're going to continue to create awesome Harry Potter product, and a lot more to come as we move into what should be a very exciting 2027. So little hint, more to come there. We also have an Acme spherical tank, which, as you can see, it looks like kind of like a bomb with a fuse. This is probably the license we take the most liberties with because it's just too much fun, right? Like, if you're not getting hit by a train or running off a cliff, you're blowing something up. And it takes us back to the Saturday morning cartoons, right? Where, just good old fashioned carnage. This one in particular is PEP, much like the Death Star you guys saw. So, just more to come here. And a Looney Tunes Acme billboard pack as well, highlighting some of those really fun phrases and characters, just goofing off. We also plan to just completely build out this license as well because it's just too fun.
Yeah, I noticed that the Star Wars has sound in it and the Acme does not, right?
So this one in particular, I don't think this one has sound. Ryan, you can correct me if I'm wrong here. I could be wrong about that. I don't think it does.
You're correct. Only the sounds are only in the Star Wars version.
Star Wars, okay.
There you go. Celebration of another achievement, really just for mankind, the NASA Artemis II mission, marking our first human journey beyond low Earth orbit in more than 50 years. This will ultimately lead to another mission, another Artemis mission, where we will eventually get ourselves back on the moon. But what an accomplishment and a really feel-good moment, especially during America's 250th. Just couldn't think of a better way to celebrate than to create this commemorative car. And this will be printed and assembled in the USA as well. Have a really nice, sleek silver body with those gold trucks. So, you know, going toward that anniversary premium look and feel there. With some images, by the way, that were taken by the NASA team, which is very cool. And to round it out, we also have a NASA rail radar car. Just keeping an eye out, you know, maybe for some of those Area 51 anomalies, who knows, right? But really, really cool detail here. And again, we've kind of recapped these features already with the rotating radar, but lots of fun.
Yeah, these actually did very well in other scales. A lot of people have a lot of, NASA is very popular. A lot of interest in, synergy between the train community and NASA and just space and exploration. So these should do very well.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. All right. Shifting gears a little bit, moving on to our Wings of Angels series. Again, this really started back in 2001. So it's been about, 5 or 6 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, if you can believe it. You can believe it. And so we are not only bringing 3 new, paint or deco schemes forward here with, Jesse, Sierra, and Tally and the planes associated, but also another Christmas boxcar, featuring our model Olga here. We do plan to keep those Christmas cars coming. I think it's a nice touch. And also, for the first time, we're going to be coming out with a Wings of Angels caboose. So if you have a ton of these boxcars and you have your engine of your choice, all you need is a caboose to put the bow on it, right? So that was sort of the inspiration. And again, all of this is printed and assembled in the USA. And then another continuation of a series would be our railroad history boxcars. Similar to what we've done in American history with those iconic figures and events and battles and things of that nature. We also want to celebrate achievements in rail history. And so we are highlighting here Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid train robbery, 125 years, if you can believe it. The introduction of telegraphs, 175 years. And really, this has just been a continuous achievement. So many milestones. We had to kind of select a few out of many. And also Granite Railway, 200 years, which is so cool. And, starting out as a horse-drawn, railway, so interesting. And we even have little details like maps and fun facts and just really everything you would want to celebrate these sort of achievements. And again, Ryan, being the history buff he is, he has great ideas in this line and was heavily involved in the inspiration behind it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and just a reminder that you can personalize your very own boxcar with a photo and some custom text. And if you'd like to do that, you can find that at lionelstore.com. We also have additional welding cars here, but this time in some prototypical schemes. So we have our Union Pacific welding car and also Pennsylvania Railroad welding car. These figures here are hard at work and they're going to move back and forth, simulating just that. And then again, as we mentioned earlier, we have a CSX ballast dump car and a Union Pacific ballast dump car. So a little bit of something for everybody.
All right. I guess I'll have to jump in here for Megan since you could be with us tonight on our Halloween items, and we've got some really fun scale pieces here. We brought the Russian decapod in with all of its original trappings, the external handrails on the running boards, the boxy headlight, the big platform on the tender, sort of carried off that Gothic look with the fonts and everything else on here to give it a good Transylvania castle type of feel to the locomotive. The bat on the headlight lens for the silhouette there as it's going down the track. Really fun piece. It sort of fits in that Halloween collection, but doesn't scream Happy Halloween at you. Mm-hmm. A few years back, we did, actually, I guess it was only a couple of years back when we brought the The Erie Limited, a set of wood passenger cars with the glow in the dark and the silhouettes in the window. If you look at the numbers on that 6-car set, you'll notice there's a blank spot in the middle, and that was reserved here for the dining car to come along with it. So this helps you all complete that collection with one of our new Halloween Station Sounds diners. And then Corey just couldn't stop coming out with these great cars, so we did one for Halloween as well with the inspection vehicles. Just a fun little thing to have trick-or-treating around your layout.
Cool car.
Yeah, Ryan, on the steam engine, is there graphics or some kind of smoke going on the boiler?
The boiler itself, not too much. Just the black boiler there. What you're probably seeing are the handrails that stand out.
Okay.
We do have the graphics on the side of the cab, and then it'll be UV printed decoration on the tender.
Okay.
So a lot of ornamentation there, where we have a bit more of a billboard.
Okay.
All right. Heading into our Christmas section, we announced the Polar Big Boy earlier. We've got the auxiliary tender to match. If you picked up one of the Lion Master versions of this, which came out or which were announced in Volume 1, those are on their way to us now. The auxiliary tender would probably not look too bad behind the Lion Master version of this either, if you wanted to add that in there with the slightly smaller Big Boy. But another really, really big hit from the earlier announcements. And you know what? The aux tender, you could even put that behind your Polar Berkshire or any of the other great power we've done. So not specifically Big Boy related on that one.
Yeah. All those Lion Master Big Boys, they're disappearing very quickly. Very quickly. They haven't even hit the streets, and the orders that came in, there's just no more around to even order for us. It's just whatever we got coming in, that's it.
People, whatever we have left over of the Vision Line Big Boys, that's their best crack at it, but they're not going to last long either.
For sure. This was a striking color scheme. We got so many compliments on this one when it came out, and absolutely had to do the matching tender to go along with it. So you'll have that here for this Big Boy as well. Something a little smaller, a little more in our traditional line of Christmas colors, the North Pole Central Atlantic. I think the snow roof and gold dome accents really helped this one pop. Of course, the wreath around the headlight on the smoke box front. Beautiful locomotive with the swinging bell and the steams feature, and then matching wood passenger cars to boot. Of course, these again will have the figures, lighted interior, some beautiful detailing on these cars. These all have the semi-vestibule doors, which gives it a nice bit of a bigger look to it, actually. And up in those North Pole nights, you'd want to stay closed in while you're walking from car to car. So we thought that was probably a pretty good addition.
Well, I'm giggling a little at this because, Ryan and I had a conversation with this about Megan before, and now I can't stop thinking about what she said. But, Santa needs some security detail. He has to be protected at all costs, and he's kind of a big deal. So we thought, why not a mistletoe Santa safety unit to keep an eye out for Santa so he can get all those gifts to those good little boys and girls on time. And so that is just what's happening here. Lots of fun. Also a Santa's Helper welding car. Lots of work to do, lots of things to fix and create. So that felt very natural. And this is so fun. It's so fun to talk about and so fun to bring to life. And if you're into that more fantasy type look and feel, this is going to be just for you. As well as a Christmas radar car. Really just got to keep a lookout, right, for any interference in the skies. We also have a really beautiful Christmas Lion Sheath 264 here, dressed up in that really classic Christmas red and green. I love that. As well as a pairing coal dump car, as we had previously mentioned. Something a little bit new. We had the Elf on the Shelf team. We connected with them and we came up with this really awesome the Elf on the Shelf boxcar, in addition to some other items that you'll see later in the year arrive in our mass retail environment. But if you do the, if you're in this world and, you like to see what your mischievous elf will do when you're not looking, then this is just a really fun addition to your layout, and hopefully something that will spark a lot of joy and tradition in your family. This one is printed and assembled in the USA, and it actually has some snowflakes featured on the roof as just a nice little touch there.
Yeah, I think this is the best car in the whole catalog. It just it jumps at you to buy me. That type of car. Excellent car. Excellent.
Yeah, lots of fun.
I don't know half the characters' names, but I'm sure all the little kids know all that. I don't know.
I don't either, but yeah, you're absolutely right. They do. Ryan, you want to talk a little bit about this piece up top here, the Magic Shop?
Sure, we'll bring it home with a few more real fun accessories here. The Magic Shop that we did is based off of our exploding fireworks store accessory that came out a few years ago. But this time we're doing a tribute to one of our good friends here at the Lionel brand. If you've ever been to an LCCA convention, you've definitely met Bill. And actually, if you're a fan of the Magic World, Bill is quite a well-known musician and has worked with some of the most famous legends in that field, and also just a hell of a nice guy. So we came up with Schmelk's Magic Shop here. This accessory includes light, sound, and a dual smoke unit. So every once in a while, one of the magic tricks just doesn't quite work the way Bill expected it to, and you get the loud boom, the fiber optics lighting up like fireworks, and two smoke units inside pumping out the smoke. So a really fun piece. It'll be a standout on any street scene, and just a great addition to your layout.
Mm-hmm. Very neat.
And then why not? The AEC series has been really popular. So we've got the glow in the dark Quonset hut and the inspection vehicle out there to inspect all of the sites. And then two more of the spherical tanks, one in a very plain scene to help fill out your tank yards, and then tank farms, and one painted up like a baseball. I've seen some of these around as well. They're painted up as all sorts of things towards the bigger cities where they have a hometown team or whatnot. So we've had some fun with this accessory again, bringing that back into the line with all the extra lighting and details on it. It is a really neat piece. And something we're glad to see come back.
All right.
Made it.
Wow.
Through another one.
Wow. Well, I tell you, every time I go through it, I notice something else. I see something else, and you pointed out a lot of things I didn't see. So it's I'm glad we keep going over and over it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you see something new every time. It's a good thing.
Yeah. We also, as we did in the past, some of the influencers had some stuff to say. So let's share that real quick, see what their top picks are. All right, tight. Oop. Hold on. All right, that was Chris Montana. Chris's Trains and Things. He does a great job. And here's RJ with some local.
There's no sound, right there?
There should be sound. You guys don't hear?
Sound's not coming through on our end. Chris, we know, has a great choice. He's going for a Conrail SD40-2.
Yeah.
Can't blame him for that. That's you don't even need sound to know he's already made a very smart decision.
I know why. Hold on. Sorry about that. Try one more time.
is the Pennsylvania Railroad Atlantics, specifically number 1600, which operated here on Long Island for quite a few years. It's got a steaming whistle, swinging bell at a great price. So let us know down in the comments, what's your top pick from the all-new Lionel catalog?
All right, and we'll just do a fair replay on that Conrail because I know Ryan had his question on it.
Hey, Train World fam, it's Chris from Chris's Trains and Things. The new Lionel catalog has recently dropped, and I am super excited to see ST40-2s back in the catalog again. One of my favorite diesel locomotives. And we've got a Conrail version. That's going to be the one that stands out for me this year. I'm looking forward to ordering number 2733081. I'm going to be pre-ordering that from TrainWorld here. What are you going to be pre-ordering from TrainWorld from this new Lionel catalog? Leave me a comment below and let us know.
All right, so those were two that we posted so far, and we haven't posted this one, but as always, Ben always does a great job. So let's just share out his video that we'll probably post shortly, next week or so. But he always does a great job. I think he was on here before, so shout out to Ben if he's still on.
Shout out to all my Orange Box goodness, gangsters, and truck lifers. Shout out to my Train World fam. It's your boy Ben Wayne, and I'm here to tell you my new top pick from the 2026 Volume 2 Lionel catalog. I'm super excited. This time, I'm looking at that Milwaukee Road gray over black Hiawatha S3. That thing is clean. That's item number 2731360.
Whoa, not again. Ken got you picking something else again?
Yeah, I'm doing my Lionel type pick, man.
Come on now.
What's the problem?
What I told you. I told you what you were going to get.
I don't need you to tell me what I'm getting out of this catalog.
And guess what? Do you like Cookie Monster or Cookie Crumbs?
My Lionel top pick out of this catalog is the Hot Rod TMCC Early Inspection Card. That's item number 2735030. Let me know what you guys are getting out of this catalog.
That's right. That's right.
But he had some good choices either way.
Yeah. Well, Corey, what's your favorite in the catalog?
Oh man, I really liked Ryan's Vision Polar and Christmas locomotive. I'm just blanking right now. We've been through so much product. I love, oh goodness. I really have to say that I enjoyed the inspection vehicles. Particularly the Mafia was really funny to me just because they were just fun to create. And I think sometimes it's like, if you do too much of one thing, you need a little bit of a palate cleanse. And so it's nice to do something different and quirky and charming. So I would say the early inspection vehicles, and I think our Vision product is like amazing this year.
Very good. Very good.
How about you, Ryan?
Tough choice out of this one. Really tough choice. Death Star tank is pretty cool. There's a lot of great heritage units and bicentennial units and semi-quincentennial units. I'm probably, I'm actually drawn to a lot of the USA boxcars that we did, we put together in this one with the history series. Just the colors and the storylines behind it. Right up my alley as a history guy, but aesthetically also very, very good looking pieces of rolling stock. So I think that's probably where a lot of my money will end up out of this one.
Well, my favorite is definitely the Elf on the Shelf, without a doubt. It's favorite, and I always look at it as what I'm going to sell the most of. Not necessarily my favorite. So I always think, like, as what I like or what I'm going to buy. I buy it all. But the Elf on the Shelf is definitely just a lot of graphics on there. It just jumps at you. I think everybody's going to buy that. Like last year was the Thomas the Tank anniversary car. It was spectacular. Just sold a ton of those. So it's just good stuff. It's not about price. It's sometimes just graphics. I'm a graphic guy. That's what I like. Ken, you have a favorite?
I just froze, but I'm assuming you're asking me for a favorite. The NS new paint scheme is just really sharp looking, so I think that's a cool sharp looking paint scheme, and those have done pretty well. So we're excited about that. And if you like, actually, Ken Senior, why don't we show the raffle off one more time? Put in the chat Lionel B2 and the state you're from, and we'll pick out a winner tomorrow night. And also the order deadline. I don't think we even discussed this, but John is going to be upset if we don't mention it. Next week, make sure you get your pre-orders in. The exact date is slipping off the top of my head. I'm not sure if Ryan knows.
Pretty much you have till Friday. So you've got 7 days to get your orders in, and then Sherry and John are going to be calling and saying we need some numbers.
That's it. So make sure you get your pre-order in next week. There's not a lot of time. So watch the video, flip through the catalog, look at the items, make sure you know what you're looking for. A lot of these items, sometimes the items even sell out before they get here. So make sure we do our best to stock a little extra and have some room, but it's very hard to predict the future. And if we could predict the future, I think the weathermen would be doing a great job with their predictions, but you just never know. So get your pre-order in. It helps us, helps Lionel, and it helps you get your product for sure.
Yeah, can you show the customs?
Yeah, we're going to show that. But make sure when you go to TrainWorld.com, we have a great banner that's up top, the Lionel. You can also brand Lionel. This is all the new Lionel 2026 C2 product. So over 350 products. So tons of product to choose from. Something for everyone. You know, we covered it all. Christmas, entry level, more high end, legacy. So lots of different products here. And over here, you can select by a lot of different filters and options. But we're going to select TrainWorld exclusives. So we actually announced 4 exclusives that we are slowly rolling out, but we're getting there slowly but surely. This one, I think 2 years ago, we did this. I think it was 2 years or maybe even 3 years now. But we did this as the ES44 because Lionel originally came out with this engine as the SD70, and it was a really cool looking paint scheme. So we said, why hasn't this been remade? It's such a great looking paint scheme. And Ryan loves Conrail too. So we remade it as the ES44, and now this is going to be the SD70 Ace. So you could go back to back on it. And really cool looking paint scheme, gloss finish, really nice looking train. So that's what we got for one of the diesels. And then as we discussed, we got the decapods, 2 different Strasbourg versions. And as Ryan was discussing, it's got the swinging bell and the whistle steam. So really cool. We are going to be touching up some of the images and just tweaking things here and there to be a little more prototypical, but we're almost there, and it's orders are turning out great. A lot of people love Strasbourg, and lots of great stuff. And here's the goose egg edition as well. So really cool. Believe one of the versions we have to update. We have the white wall wheels on. I believe it's the late version, but I'll double check my notes on that. But we're just tweaking the finalized pictures. But again, so much Strasbourg out there, and Strasbourg passenger cars, coaches, and now rolling stock. Everybody's coming out with Strasbourg. So this is a great entry level, and not even entry level, high end level at a great price point. So good stuff there. And this was we've been doing a lot of Christmas theme with Lionel, and we decided to do a Christmas diesel. So we're coming out with a Christmas diesel, the Santa Express, North Pole and Arctic Railway. So something different. It will not have lights. It's just decoration over there, but lots of cool color, paint scheme, and kind of goes along with the paint scheme that we've been doing with Lionel, with the Big Boy, and I believe the Hudson as well. So lots of good options out there.
And you got the Navy, Ken, the new Navy one.
Oh, you know what? That is not in that section, but I will find it in 1 second.
You guys have been doing such a great job with those Christmas locomotives. They really, really look amazing.
Yeah, they pop. They really pop.
I love the sleigh on the side with the reindeer. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, so something different and unique. And this is the bicentennial Tomcat, and it's probably in the 250 section, but it's actually America 200. It's the bicentennial. This was based off an actual plane, and they did it for 1976, and it was actually debuted, I believe, in Paris, and just kind of to celebrate America, and just the artwork and everything. And here, if we zoom in, 1776 to 1976, United States of America, Navy F-14 Tomcat, and the VF-124. I believe the ship carrier was based in California. So lots of history here. And if you look at the plane, it's an awesome looking plane. And the Tomcat is such an iconic part of American history, and just parts of just aviation. So it's really cool, and you got to check out the actual plane. But this paint scheme really, we thought, wrapped up together with the America 250 to honor and celebrate America 250. So this kind of tying in the aviation and trains and this kind of design, it was just like perfect. So this has been doing really well, and a cool paint scheme here.
Great.
But again, we couldn't do this without Lionel. Their team has been really supportive and great between just sales, Ryan, the production, graphic designers, everybody. So a lot of hands go on these projects, and a lot of work and design. So we appreciate everyone at Lionel, and especially for coming on tonight. It's past hours, 7:30, 2 hours for this live stream. So we appreciate Ryan and Corey for coming on tonight, their families, because it's time away from their families. So we do appreciate them taking the time and being on these live streams. It's means a lot, and means a lot to our customers out there. We see the comments and engagements and the orders after the catalog flip through. So we truly appreciate that. Did I miss anything, Ken Sr.?
Yeah, well, just get your pre-orders in. This way we can put our order in. We know what to order. Lionel knows what to order. You don't get left out in the cold paying more or don't get it. You got to pre-order this stuff, and it's like Corey says, it's fun. Lionel Trains is nothing but fun. It's good stuff.
Yeah. It's been a privilege being on. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
all
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you all for having us.
Yeah,
we appreciate it, and thank you all fans out there who were adding in comments and who will be watching this later. We really do it all for you guys. So keep enjoying.
Thank you, Lionel. Thank you.
Yep. Yep. So again, pre-order deadline is next week. Get your orders in as soon as you can. Don't try to avoid disappointment. Like Ken Sr. was saying, a lot of those Lion Master big boys already pre-sold out. So it's going to be few and far between people finding them on the open market. So a lot of times all this product dries up really quick, especially with Lionel's built-to-order program. They make it really tight to the number, exclusive, and it's based off what we order. So we do our best to put in some fluff, but more times than not, a lot of this product sells out quick. So make sure you get your order in. And thank you, Lionel, Corey, Ryan, and the entire Lionel team. We truly appreciate your hard work and dedication on this.
Thank you all.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night, all. Good night.